go. Okay, the Culture Black Kid. This is Ruined Friends, and I'm joined with my friends. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Adele. Nice to be here.
No, for sure. And we are going to review Hiatus Coyote's latest album, Love Heart Cheat Code. So to kick it off, as you are the friend, the homie that is jumped on today, what is your overall thoughts of this latest album?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I love when Hiatus Kaiyote drop because I feel like every single time you're not going to get the same thing as the last time, and I think they've
Hmm.
proven that time and time again. And this project is no different as well. I feel like it goes like this for most of the time, and then it also goes
Hmm.
like this for
Yeah.
half of the time as well. So like, it's really, really epic, really hectic. I know that for me personally, it took a while, like a couple listens for me to fully grasp the different kind of aspects and elements to it, but
Hmm.
it's just like there's no other way to describe it besides it being a Hiatus Coyote project. I feel like that's the most authentic way to describe it.
For sure, for sure. Even, as I parked and was, walking and thinking of going over my notes in my head, I'm like, okay, firstly, kill me. Um, the first full Hiatus Coyote project that I've listened to personally, I need to go back and do my homework. So I'm gonna lean a little bit on you, for some historical references. But
Yes.
I did come in going, I think the most apt way to describe it is this is a Hiatus Coyote album. It's like I assume this is like everything that I'm gonna say when I go into everything that I enjoyed about this project. It's like, yeah, oh, duh. It's you know, that's exactly what makes a Hiatus Coyote album a Hiatus Coyote album. So
Yeah.
let's get into some pros about the project.
I think like as per usual, just like the experimentation with sound, like it's just like there are so many moments that are jarring, but like jarring in a sonic sense, like where
Hmm.
it just kind of makes it just elevates the song a little more. I feel like they are not like they're just not a jazz band. They are a jazz, funk, everything in between. Like there's and I feel
Hmm.
like they really flex their chops on this album. And I love Napalm so much. I think that her voice is such a driving force every single time that she jumps on the
Ridiculous.
mic. And
Yeah.
like for this project, it's just like it's just no different. Like she's such a captivating person and such a captivating front, I guess, what's the front woman, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
so. Yeah.
like yeah, I feel like yeah, she kind of like leads it and then the instruments kind of warm itself around it. So she's in the middle here and
Mm.
then everything is wrapped, like just kind of wrapped around her,
Mm.
taking place as they should. So yeah, I would say pros definitely. The experimentation is completely upped, which is hectic. And then of course just like Napalm's vocals, you know, I love like I love things that aren't technically perfect in a music sense. I love when
Mm. Yeah.
things, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I like it when things are a bit strange and a bit weird and like I feel like she can really, really I feel like she kind of just borders the line of strange and weird and perfect at the same time. It's like strange
Yeah.
and weird here, perfect here, and she's kind of always toying with that line in between.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, just yeah, I think she's like such a star. So yeah, I feel like yeah, she shines really strongly on the album.
For sure, for sure. And I concur with all those points. To add on top of that, the arrangements and how, each instrument responds to the other, is, so creative and, interesting. It's an interesting listen. Again,
Mm.
obviously, Hiatus Cody album, exactly what you expect. But it's still, for someone who's a novice, into it, into their music, um, recently, it's still like, wow, it
Definitely.
is ridiculous. And even the fact, sometimes you get super creative on the first or the second album, and then it starts to maybe drop off because it's like, okay, what new can you do? And I guess you
Yeah.
can speak to this a bit more, but like it's like, okay, but no, you're still finding creative things to make your projects interesting. Is that like the case compared to like the previous albums? Do
Yeah,
you think?
I mean, in my opinion, I think so, definitely. I feel like it's been a gradual kind of like step up every single time.
Hmm.
And this is kind of like the ultimate explosion of sound, you know. I feel
Yeah,
like this is kind of where they've kind of gone balls to the wall and they're like, let's just play around with some instruments and just fucking let it do the
yeah,
talking, you know what I
for
like that's how
sure.
I feel anyway. Not to say that it wasn't like that on the previous albums, but I feel
Hmm.
like they kind of like use a safety ladder every single time in a
Hmm.
good way, just because they haven't fully reached that potential up until this point. And so
Hmm.
I feel like, yeah, this point is like, yeah, we are several years down in this game and we know who we are. We know what our sound is, and we're going to stand 10 toes by it, you know what I
For
mean? So
sure.
yeah, that's how I feel anyway.
No, for sure, for sure. And you're 1000% right on Napalm's tools and how captivating they are in the space of the music and how it's like you picture like how Menashe like sets up his shows and but it's
Yeah.
like she's in the middle and just everyone's just around just reacting and everyone else is around watching and it's like
Yeah.
you control everything and
Mm.
I guess this kind of goes into a couple of my favorite songs from it um which is
Sorry.
um is Everything's Beautiful, which is my favorite R&B song of the year so far, top of my mid-year list as of the time we're recording this. Love Dimitri
Yes.
as well. Also interesting with some of the pop, like the light pop culture, but references, but still in a very interesting way. So in Dimitri, it was Allison, no, sorry, Wizard of Oz, um,
Mhm.
with the click kill three times, and then in the final song, White Rabbit, which is obviously a Alice in Wonderland reference. So it was like, okay, cool. Like I liked how it was done. And
Yeah.
then Dark Horse for me, Cat. Genuinely, the first time I listened, to it, I'm like, oh, this is so cheesy. But the more I listen, I'm like, but this is cute. It's endearing, and I love it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm on the same boat as you as well. Like I feel like um I think what is like different this time with a song like Long Cat is like even though it's quite cheesy, it's nice to hear Hiatus Kaiyote do that, like take that route a little bit. Um but I also like I think that one of my favorites is like the title track for sure. I feel like that's a common thread for me as well. The title track on albums is always like the hitter for me.
So
But I also like Everything's Beautiful. The arrangement in that is insane. Insane.
ridiculous.
Like how do they do that? I do not understand.
Yeah.
Um what else did I love? I love. I think there's a track with that opens with like with keys. Oh, Cinnamon Temple. Okay, it's not the track I was talking about. Cinnamon Temple
Oh,
is insane. That song is insane. Like I don't
like
even
off
know
the rip.
any other
Yeah.
way to describe it. It's just fucked in the head.
Yeah, 100%. The way it comes with that was it the guitar that like
Yeah,
distorted. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
it's hectic. I feel like
amazing.
it's moments like that too. Like I feel like you have to like obviously within the first couple seconds, they have to be the standout seconds in a song.
Hmm.
And I feel like there's no better way to do it than something like that that kind of like stops you in your tracks and you're like,
Hmm.
oh, what's this? Like what's this
Yeah,
playing?
yeah.
But yeah, I love that track too.
True, true. Yeah, no, that one definitely. The first time I checked it, I'm like, okay, this is definitely a change of direction, but
Yeah, for
I'm here
sure.
for this. This fits perfectly still within the landscape of the album.
Yeah.
Switch it up a little bit. Do you have any cons that you unfortunately weren't here for on the project?
Um, I think that towards the first half of it, although it sounds good, I think that it needs more. I mean, me personally, I felt like I needed to be grabbed just a little bit more. I feel like the ante needed to be turned up a little bit more
Hmm.
because I feel like the ante kind of turned up on the second half, which makes sense. But I feel
Hmm.
like if you're doing a thorough like top to bottom, it only starts to pick up after Everything is Beautiful, in my personal opinion. So I feel
Mm.
like yeah, towards the top, maybe like it just needed something else a little bit more grabby for me. But I
Hmm.
still enjoyed it like as an overall project. I feel like that kind of like chronological progression always works. Um, but I kind of want to be wowed. every time from the beginning. So, and she agrees. Long cat.
Long cats. I knew there was going to be an appearance. I
I had to.
uh, I mean, I enjoy Dreamboat, Telescope, friends, more so Dreamboat, make friends, and that everything's beautiful. It's strong. I mean, all of it's strong.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more balanced, personally. My only con is the kind of interlude, the BMO is beautiful track,
Okay. Yeah.
which I didn't think need to be there. Unfortunately, I don't think it really added too much to the track list. I'm I'm not personally sure who Nikki Yang is. Do you know who Nikki Yang is? But yeah, it's probably a friend or something like that, musical friend. I'm not 100% sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be incorrect about that. However, I just added anything to the context of the album. It was just a cute, interlude of them singing, and then it went into Everything's Beautiful, which is like, yo, we could have just gone straight to Everything's Beautiful. Like, I'm gonna skip this song when I listen to this album. So apart from that, there are songs that I like more than others, obviously, but the ones that I don't go to immediately, I still like enough, but they're great songs. Wrap it up. Review time. Rating. So just to remind you, my ratings are you here for this? Does it depend on the day whether you're here for this, or is that unfortunately not for you?
Has anyone ever done like an in between for you, like on
No.
this?
But
No?
if you want to,
Okay.
if you want to think of a different one,
I'm
what
gonna
would
keep
be
no.
between here and I assume here and depends.
I would, yeah. I would put myself like, shh, shh. I would put myself in the middle of I'm here for this and it depends on the day, I think, because I
Okay.
think like, yeah, I feel like it is kind of a demanding listen in that you want to be able to sit down and listen to it in order to take it all in and also just fully appreciate it, I suppose. Um, and I think that was my experience as well, like having to give it a couple runs before I fully appreciated it, but I had to make the time for it. So I feel like, yeah, it probably sits in between depends on the day and I'm here for it.
And I am here for this, but what you think out there? Are you here for this? This is not really for you. Make sure you let me know. And thank you again, Del, for coming on reviewing this project. Where can people find you at?
You can find me on @SmellyDell. That's my personal. You can read my writing on Vice.com, and you can listen to me on the radio at the Snack Pack on FBI Radio.
And once again, I am Root, aka the Culture Black Kid. Catch you next time. Peace.